Warri indigenous people movement don ask government and oil companies to quickly do better development for Ishekiri communities where they bring big money from oil for Niger. Dem also show full support for the Group Chief Executive Officer of Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, Engineer Bayo Ojuwari. For one press conference wey happen for Abuja, the group sharply reject wetin one other ethnic group talk say make dem remove Ojuwari. Dem say na lie full am and e be like say na politics dem dey take push talk all those things. Dem yarn say Ishekiri land get over 70 oil fields wey spread across the 3 Warri local government area and dem dey produce over 33% of Nigerian crude oil. Dem come talk say even with all this contribution, the Ishekiri communities no dey see any real development. Na why dem dey call on NNPCL to work with Shell and Chevron make dem build gas tribune for Warri. Dem also beg government make dem fix Warri and Port Harcourt refinery sharp. Dem believe say if dem do this one, fuel go dey more and price go come down. Dem still talk say dem no happy as anytime wey Niger Delta person hold better position for oil and gas sector, some people go behind, spread blackmail and lie. Dem talk say e don too much. Dem come talk say dem dey stand gidigba with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu policy and reforms.
We are not here to deceive the public, but to set the record straight. Indeed, what I'm holding here, SPDC would not transform most of the oil blocks or well to the OMLs. They have it here as contained. The communities that they acquire wells and oil blocks from. If you go to Jones Creek, you will see there's no contention of whatsoever with Omadino community. Also, Egwa 1 and Egwa 2. The only way we can have peace and coexist as human beings is when records are looked into and then the law is applied to it. Nobody is an island or monopoly of violence whereby they start intimidating the federal government. That is why we have come to set the record straight, and we support the position of the GMD in trying to set the record straight.
So we will not sit idly by and watch blackmails hurled at him from the Niger Delta, where the Ishekiris are a major stakeholder. Bear in mind, the Ishekiri ethnic nationality wholeheartedly supports President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his renewed hope agenda, and by extension, the reforms within the NNPCL, an advocacy we have been carrying out for some years, from resource control till today. So it is high time the Ishekiris, who are major stakeholders in the oil and gas industry, are carried along in terms of pipeline surveillance contract. As we speak, we have recommended an Ishekiri contractor, competent Ishekiri contractor, to the NNPC and the federal government to be given the pipeline surveillance contract within the Ishekiri, as my brothers have said, within the Ishekiri areas from Delta State up to Edo State. Because we produce the highest quantum of crude oil and gas in our land. So this reform that is going to support the decentralization of the pipeline surveillance contract, according to the areas where you produce the resources, it is welcomed by Ishekiri nation, by every Ishekiri person in Nigeria. So we have come to tell Engineer Bayo Ojuwari to continue with this reform. Ishekiri nation support him to continue with his reform, in serving the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his renewed agenda. And by God's grace, come 2027, we all sitting here and the entire Ishekiri nation will support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to come back and continue the reform.
At least to look the direction of those that are producing to the nation. A situation whereby when you go to Warri today, there is nothing to write home in our area. So we are asking the NNPC, including the federal government, to visit the Ishekiri communities, visit Warri, visit Omadino, and see for yourself that this area need attention. Who say Warri and the entire Ishekiri community cannot have a gas turbine? Warri need to be light up.
Oh yes.
Warri need to be light up. We appeal that NNPC under their JVC laws to partner with Shell and Chevron in building a gas turbine in our area, Warri, to light up the place. We also appeal to NNPC to fast track the repair of the Warri and Port Harcourt refinery. By doing so, certainly it will clash down the prices of fuel, and Nigeria will enjoy at the end of the day. Finally, we also appeal to other stakeholders within the Niger Delta region to give peace a chance, to at least let us be patient with the federal government. We understand that in any reform, there is always pain, but we know that this pain is temporary. We understand that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we understand that at the long run, Nigeria will gain in its renewed hope agenda. We urge co-Niger Deltans to support him, to be patient with him.
If we have the highest producing community in Nigeria, if we have the oil producing ethnic nationality in Delta State, so who are supposed to be people that are agitating for development? We, of course. Now, if you come to Warri, come to the oil communities, nothing to show for it. But however, we are supporting the GMD for its reform. Exactly. Because we know after the reform, all the record is in archives of NNPC. The acquisition data, everything they know all. But because some persons, they think they have the monopoly of violence. Whenever they threaten the government fall for them. Is it fair? And we respect the government of Ahmed Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, GCON, to look inward to the rule of law. We must respect the rule of law, not the rule of violence, because nobody has the monopoly of violence. We are appealing to the federal government. We are in support of the GMD for the reform, and we know that at the end of the day, everybody, including the Shekiri, all tribes in Niger Delta, will smile. But we are still appealing that whatever you are doing in terms of empowerment, in terms of contract, take into cognizance whatever you produce shall be determined in whatever you benefit, because your input should be able to determine your output.
Make una no forget say, as we see am, na so we dey talk am. We no dey take blame. Rose Njagu, TMC News.